Shalom Israel, first and foremost, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Kakadash, the one of the apostles, and ultimate millstone, we're teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings. This is the hope, collective Israel, Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the handful named Hebrew, by Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in our lesson, and today we're going to be speaking on this border crisis, and also how this migrant situation could lead to something a whole lot bigger. Because as you're about to see within this article right here, you have over 320,000 migrants being secretly brought into the U.S., so going to show there's something, bigger to the story that Esau Edom is planning something. Because as you know, the devil always like to have his hand in the middle of these situations because he's ultimately the problem starter. He's the one orchestrating and causing a lot of this commotion, a lot of the problems that you are seeing, so he can swoop in like the so-called hero with the solution, all in order to bring about total control, to establish and bring about his plans, as well as to establish that order through that chaos. So you're going to see these devils take advantage of these things that are happening and that are going on in order to, tighten that grip even more. Because you see the situations that are already arising, dealing with the migrants, the stabbings, the killings that are taking place. We have women getting ravished. So people are going to look and seek for a solution. And what these devils are going to take advantage of this in order to be so-called justified in whatever they're about to do. Because this could cause these devils to establish, martial law, tighten, restrictions, for lack of better words, tighten things up. Because you're also seeing the situation with Texas and the 26 plus other states disagreeing with Biden and the government and the decision making at hand. So you already see this split, this divide that's taking place, civil war brewing right before your very eyes. Now you're seeing the situation with the migrants, which is causing a lot of chaos already, a lot of commotion, which already have a few articles, to go along with that. Or just, this one right here. Now it says, breaking, this black man released footage of migrants hanging on the block of a Philadelphia black community. He believes they are waiting for marching orders. And once again, controlled chaos. These devils are the ones orchestrating and causing a lot of these problems, all in order to bring about and establish their plans. We're speaking of Esau Edom here. What makes you think this devil that the Bible speaks of is going to help out 320 migrants coming over here just for their own well-being? You get in Psalm 55 and Psalm 55 in, I forget the exact verse for it, but Psalm 55, Psalm 58, going to how the devil's a natural born liar. It's like we're a silver tongue. He's not to be trusted, man. But it says right here, I am getting reports from LA, Chicago, Arizona, and New York that this is happening more and more since January, and they fear that migrants are planning to take over the hoods by force. And you see many similar videos like this right here. Like I said, you have women getting ravished, you have children getting killed. So people are going to look and seek for a solution in order for things to be done. People are already wanting, Biden to be taken out of office, and they're looking for someone else to be, pretty much take his place. So a lot of people are looking for Trump to be, thrown back into there because he's, giving out promises that he's going to, first thing he's going to do is, deport these immigrants and all this stuff. So a lot of things are happening. So you see how they're, narrating and orchestrating these things. And you've seen the problems that they're starting, and you've seen the solutions that they are pretty much going to, give, for lack of better words. Now, let's read this quick article right here, and we'll dive into these other two, and as well as go into this, strategy that they are ultimately using. Because you also have that saying, order out of chaos, and also you have this right here, cloudward pivot strategy, which you are seeing taking place right in front of you. But like I said, read a little bit into the article, and we'll jump to the scriptures, and that's going to be the lesson. Lord's want to tie these points together the best of my ability, because I made a lesson a few weeks back, going to a similar situation right here, where you had tons of commotion, at the border. A lot of people were being brought in. Many people, many Americans disagreeing with how much resources are being given, the amount of money that's being spent, So a lot of things are going on. Now let's read this title. The Biden administration admits flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. So it's obviously they're not being brought over just for no reason. As the U.S. to reduce the number of crossings at the border has national security vulnerabilities. But as a lot of these, guys that are being brought over here are in disguise as, so-called migrants. In reality, some of them are foreign mercenaries, foreign troops. As Brazil speaking on that. A lawsuit reveals Biden's CBP is refusing to disclose airports where it is flying under undocumented aliens from other countries. Because as we got right here, going to the point I was making. As over here, he believes they are waiting for marching orders, where they're waiting to be told to do something. See what this plays right here.
See, these are new niggas on the block. Look at these motherfuckers sitting on the corner. They the new niggas.
And hey, ultimately they're waiting for that
They
go ahead.
got nothing on their mind. They just came to America and they waiting on marching orders. Them niggas sitting right there on the.
If you even have brothers, will see certain people that's out there. Looks like they're scoping out the area and surveying the surroundings. So going to show you something's obviously going on. Like I mentioned, you don't have 320,000 migrants being brought over here just for no reason. As we're about to also get into this strategy right here, once those are bringing about that chaos. Now, this is a Cloward Piven strategy, political strategy outlined in 1966 by American sociologists and political activists Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven for the creation of. It's an article. I think they just changed it, and it looks like they, literally just changed it, because I had this, way earlier, and it was, went into the full thing. Now it looks like they, literally just altered it. See if I can find another link to go into it, because usually when you pick this right here, it would go more into it, and how it would play out in the way they would do it. Yeah, I mean, they literally changed it, which I guess this would work for now. It pretty much just sums it up into something more, I guess, simpler. This is a Cloward Piven theory is a strategy devised in 1960s to successfully provide welfare and attempt to solve political problems. The main steps of the strategy are to overload a system, which you already see how many migrants are being brought over here, which if you just read in that article, going to 320,000 that were secretly brought in, and you already see how many are at the border and crossing also. And you're seeing the amount of resources that are being spent, the food that's being given, and you see how many people are disagreeing with what Biden is doing. As you already see the billions of dollars being given to Ukraine and these other neighboring nations that that they're aiding. And you see how many people are saying that they would rather give billions of dollars to support these other nations when this place is crumbling. Now, it says overload a system, create mass panic and hysteria as the system is overloaded, oversee the destruction of the system, replace the former system with a new system to bring about that order, to gain control. All in order to bring about wanting that NWO. Let's see. Guess it goes a little more into this. Is a Cloward Piven strategy of solving political problems can be compared to a forest fire. All these fires result in widespread destruction. Eventually, a forest is regrown with young trees that are stronger than the old ones had been. That's pretty much that right there. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they changed this, because just right here in itself, right here in this little paragraph, it would show the full thing. And I even have a lesson, going into it where it shows the full thing. So now they're starting to, change things up, because now you're seeing the situation that's happening, dealing with this migrant situation, and how pretty much this thing would be overloaded, and how they're going to bring about chaos in order to once can bring about that order. And it's like if I sound like a broken record, but these are the things that they are doing. Finish this video right here, read the other article I got, and jump to the script.
Corner. Yeah, they waiting on marching orders. Y'all niggas better wake up and be prepared for war, homie. They ain't let the borders open for nothing. They coming for us. They coming for us. These motherfuckers standing on every corner doing nothing. Look at them. I'd be ready to crack one of they motherfucking heads open if they look at me.
And I saw another video where you had migrants being dropped off to neighborhoods, when you would see a lot of them getting out cars, or I forget the exact car that transported them, but they're transported to neighborhoods, and they all got out. So there was that. There's this one right here. So let's say Supreme Court temporarily bars Texas from arresting illegals, because as you saw that standoff that happened a few weeks back. And that says, and that's because Biden filed an emergency motion with Supreme Court demanding that they permanently block Texas from protecting itself from the invasions. And that's why you had Texas pretty much doing things that they wanted to do. And you also had those 26 plus other states, if not more now, agree with them. Meanwhile, Biden and the Democrats continue to whine and complain that this is somehow Trump's fault. And now people are looking for Trump to solve these problems. So you see how once they're orchestrating this. Texas will not be allowed to arrest or deport illegals until the Supreme Court issues a final ruling on the issue, when Democrats finally wake up and demand Biden to stop this invasion. But there's that right there. It's also going to show the divide that's taking place. And let's get a few scriptures. That's going to be on that, because you're about to see absolute chaos ensue. You don't see 320,000 and more being brought over here just for no reason. We're speaking of Esau, Edom here. 2 Kings 15 through 19. Now it says, for the sword and the destruction shall 9, when people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. As you all seen protests taking place pretty much all over the world. Recently went into the situation with these farmers, protesting, blocking off roads with tractors and all that. Verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, when people in authority, people in power, and the courts actually stand in their power. Verse 17, and once this could lead these devils to tighten that grip, declare martial law, as well as to justify the things they're about to do, to justify laying rounds into people, because you're seeing the killings that are already taking place. Women getting ravished, young children are being taken out. Verse 17, a man shall desire to come to the city, shall not be able, and this is only going to pick up. And once these devils are most definitely going to use this to their advantage, to do the things that they want to do. Now verse 18, now for because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And you're going to have homes being broken into, like I just mentioned, because I saw that articles similar to this one right here, which we just got on Twitter, where you had migrants being dropped off at neighborhoods. So things are getting ready to happen, things are going down. Verse 18 one more time, because of their pride, and the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, one of the main points right here, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the house with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of lack of bread for great tribulation. Because you also see the constant resources are being given, the food that's being given, places pretty much being rented out or holding a lot of these migrants. And a lot of people are, ultimately disagreeing with the things that are being said and what's being given. Now, 2 Ezra 16:18, another great point. That's the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Because you see literally America on its last legs. You're seeing the split, the divide. Now you're seeing this migrant situation getting worse. So you see this absolute chaos that is getting ready to erupt. And once you're going to have these devils use this to their absolute advantage, all in order to bring about and establish that order. Because without chaos, there's no need to implement new things. There's no need to implement no established order. Because people will look at the changes and would see no reason for them to be made. But through chaos, through trouble, through perilous times, people look and seek for solutions, which these devils are going to swoop in like that so-called hero with. Now, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? See if I missed anything else. Now, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, as also getting us with the 39th verse. Going to those judgments. But that's it on that right there. Get these last three, and that's gonna be on that. This is Isaiah 13:16. Their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes. You see, I believe it was like a 4-year-old got taken out. Because you see in many articles coming out about the situation dealt with these migrants. Now, so their children also should be dashed to pieces before their houses, especially as coming to the last days in general. You're about to see a whole lot of judgment in general, but just speaking on this situation at hand that we're speaking on. The children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled. Their wives ravished. You have women getting ravished, getting, taken away out here, man. I made that lesson a while back, going to that situation where you had a bunch of young men crossing over here. You saw no women amongst them, so you best believe they're going to be going after these Babylonian women too. So just, pushing that point across how there's obviously something planned here. We're speaking of Esau, Edom. This is Jeremiah 30:7. He's most definitely not going to let this go to waste. And as the last 8 days great, so that none is like it. It's even times of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of our hand in the time of our trouble, and specifically for the 2/3 of our wicked people. But those of us in his faith will be tried and be tested also. But it says right here, but he shall be saved out of it. Even in the midst of all this chaos, in the midst of the famine, the elect and be well kept and defended, man. You best believe that. As you also can Psalm 91, as well as many other scriptures. Now, 2 Timothy 3:1, to also answer that point of the times that we are in and are coming into. Because this situation could, boil up to something, a whole lot worse. This could lead up to these devils wanting to declaring that martial law and, bringing about total control. As well as to justify their actions of, what they're about to do. And however they may do it. Laying rounds into people, whatever the case may be. Now it says, this note also in the last days, perilous times shall come. Troublesome, terrible, dark. Those are the type of times that we're coming into, and people are still taking these warnings lightly. But that's pretty much on that right there. Kind of a similar lesson I went to a while back, but now you're seeing more of these things, pretty much arising, more problems, commotion coming from this. So things are continuing to pick up and getting worse, and once it's going to show the times that we are in, and that things are getting ready to happen, because once in no coincidence you see over 320,000 migrants being brought over here. So that's pretty much on that right there. Those of us edifying to the point. I do think of all praises, all honor and all glory to Hashem Shai, Hashem Kakadash, the ones the apostles, and all great mills for teaching us his truth, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom, see you next one. Hello.